record on this computer. Okay. All right. So we're going to get started and we're going to try to stick to our time frames as we do every month. So like I said, if you have questions, ask away. But I just kind of want to share 7 steps today to hitting diamond in 7 days. So 7 steps to hitting diamond in 7 days. But before I do that, I just want to kind of dive in really quickly as share my heart, where I've been, and let me close out my Facebook first because that can be really distracting. So I've had a few people quit lately, and as a coach, you all know exactly what it feels like to bust your butt, and you love this business or you found a passion for it and you're sharing it, and either people are not catching on to that mission that you have, or they have a different agenda. And it's really hard not to get frustrated by that because you do pour so much of your free time into that. But then I also remembered my own advice, and sometimes I forget to take that, but if you owned a storefront and you had a really amazing product, like you had a beautiful boutique and beautiful clothes, and someone walked in your store and bought something from you and then came back later and returned it, would you get offended? You couldn't, right? It's not business. And I think sometimes we forget that this is a business, and it's not, while we all have developed these really cool friendships and we hang out a lot together, it's still at the end of the day a business. It's a really cool business, and I love being a part of that, but at the end of the day, it is a business. And so when we think about our goal, we get in this, and I kind of talk through that in my post, kind of where I reassess myself and like, where did I go wrong as a leader? Could I have done something different? And kind of where we all start in that coaching journey. And it all started with someone inviting us. They had a need. We had a need. They had something to offer. We joined them, and then we saw some glimpse of some type of opportunity. We joined them, and here's what I see. Coaches that hit diamond very quickly, within 90 to 6 months, 90 days to 6 months, always stick with this business longer. And it's the same to say for emeralds, because when we need those little boosts of confidence in order to stick with something. And so what I see is so much potential in these coaches that do love it. There is a passion there, but there's some disconnect. And so I'm not, I can talk forever about certain aspects of this business, but I'm really going to dive into how you can achieve diamond within 7 days by simply following these 7 steps. And the reason that diamond is important is not because when you hit diamond, you start making all this money. It's because at that point, you really get the confidence to start building a true business. And so why continue to waste your time dabbling and sticking your toe in the water when you can go all in and you can bust this business wide open by just simply following a few different steps. Now, coaches have done this. There are coaches that have hit diamond in 7 days. There's coaches that have hit, Scotty Hobbs hit it in 16 days. There's been coaches in the dynasty that have hit it within a month or 2. I hit diamond in 3.5 months. So this is not unrealistic. And I'm just teaching you the things that I did. And I wish somebody would have got on a call and said, don't set your goals so you are capable of more than that. And so sometimes we say, oh, I want to be diamond in 6 months, or I want to be diamond in a year, or actually I don't even care if I want to be diamond. So my number 1 step in this is that it's a mindset. It's a belief. Like, if you do not believe that you are a good coach and you have anything to offer, that is going to be apparent to anyone that you offer this opportunity to. So the first thing you have to do is to figure out who you are and what you have to offer to people that you're asking, because you're going to have to do that first. So what do you have to offer? Do you, and we all have different strengths. So maybe you hate public speaking and that's not your thing, but maybe you really have a heart to help people. Maybe you can connect on those deep personal levels that an introvert typically is able to do, and extroverts can connect in a different level. But that's the first thing, is it's a mindset. And you've got to clearly define why you want to grow your business. And so we talk about why all the time. But if you do not have a why in this business, you will fail. Like, you're going to quit. You're not going to stick with it. And that's just is what it is. It's like shooting in the dark. If you don't know why you're sticking around, then you're gonna give it up. So you have to know why you're here. Is it because you love helping people? Is it because that you need that accountability to stick to your own goals? Is it because you have these big, audacious dreams for your family that you know your current situation is not going to get you there? There's some reason why you decided to coach. So when your coach reached out to you and said, I think you'd make a really awesome coach, and you sat back and you started thinking about it, whatever that reason was that initially gave you the courage to say yes, you need to document that, right? And then you need to keep expanding on that. So for you guys that are new on this call, there's a few new people. My why is my kid. I worked in a corporate job. I still work a corporate job, and I am constantly running the rat race to try to spend time with my family, to try to spend time with him. And I hate thinking like, oh, I don't have the money to pay for that. That is such a draining feeling for me. Like, I want to be able just to say, yeah, I want to go on vacation and it's going to cost $10,000 and we're going. Like, those are my dreams. Those are my whys. Like, I want my grandmother, when she's getting older, I want to be able to take care of her. I don't want cost to be an issue for her. And when you find those things that make you go, okay, well, what happens if that does not happen, right? That's when you find your why. Those are the things that get to your heart a little bit. Like, okay, those sound really great, but what happens to my life if I do not make those things happen? So you have to get very, very clear on why you want to be a coach. So if I say anything in the rest of these other 6 steps, please find your why, okay? The second thing is, or that's there was part A, B, and C of that, is you have to document your deadline. So we know that you have a why now. You know what that why is. When are you going to hit diamond? Like, set a date, like a dead date for that, okay? So step number 2, you need to write down 100 people. 100 people you know. You can get out a piece of paper. You can get it in your phone. You can do an Excel spreadsheet. You can do it however you want, but you need to write down 100 people that you know. You know 100 people, I promise you. Okay, so once you have your 100 people, you're going to think of somebody that can benefit from what you have to offer. And sometimes we cut ourselves really, really short because we're like, oh, well, they don't have the money for Shakeology and they work out at the gym and, you know, they're already skinny and their husband makes a lot of money, so they don't need the financial opportunity. And don't prejudge someone, okay? That's not your job. That's their job to figure out if it's right for them or not. Your job is just to offer it to them. Like, what if someone didn't offer it to you? How would your life be different? If they looked at her and said, oh, well, she has a job and she's already struggling, so she probably wouldn't have time for coaching. And so, you know, like that, my life would forever be different if somebody would have judged me and said it wasn't right for her. So it's not your job to judge someone. So you have to figure out what you have to offer, and then you write 100 people down and you go out and you offer it to them. And you have to talk to people. You have to have conversations. And I think sometimes that's the hardest part for me. Liz, we can't see you. So you have to go talk to them. And then number 3, so number 1 was clearly define your why and set a deadline date. Number 2 was write down 100 people that could benefit from what you have to offer. And we don't need to go into that, hopefully, because you know that there's a lot of things we have to offer. Number 3, is find somebody that trusts you. There are 2 people that trust you. I know there is. So if you're not Emerald currently in this group, there are 2 people that trust you enough to say, yes, I will try it, and yes, I want a discount. So if you're not Emerald, I'm calling your bluff right now, and if the only reason you're not Emerald is because you believe that you can't be Emerald. That's it. It's not because the people don't exist. So there are 2 people. My first 2 people was one of my good friends, Sam, and my mom, and then my sister, and then my boyfriend. And then, like, I was cherry picking everyone I knew that was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but listen, could you just come on, buy a challenge pack for me. And they did. And I'm like, can you do a discount, coach? And if you hate it, you can return it. And they were like, whatever. If that helps you, yeah, sure, go ahead. So find 2 people you know. That's 3 and 4. So this is a 2-part, right? This is pretty simple so far. And number 5 is share your transformation. And so here's what a little gut check for myself lately. It's really hard to share my transformation or share my story or share what's working in my life when I'm not working for my life, right? So I've been really just struggling with my nutrition lately, and I don't really like Body Beast, and I'm trying to stick with it. But I say that to say, like, find something that does work. They have a program that works for you, and share that. Maybe you don't have this huge transformation yet, but something is changing, and you have to share that, right? When I did my first challenge group, I didn't have this amazing weight loss story. It wasn't like I lost, 100 pounds, but I shared the more mental struggle I was going with. I am a single mom on a tight budget, and I don't have time to get to the gym. But I finally overcome the skepticism and tried an online challenge group, and I feel fantastic. And I am hosting a challenge group next month, and I would love for 3 people to join me. Okay, so whatever it is, there's some change going on inside you if you're doing the work. Now, when you get to a point where you are having a hard time working the business, most of the time it's 1, you've lost belief in yourself, and 2, you're not working on yourself, right? So my coaches that fall off the radar, I know they've quit working on themselves. They're not working out. They're not eating healthy. So, right, you can't really share that part and ask somebody to join you when you're not doing it yourself, or it feels a little hypocritical. So work on yourself. So number 5 was transformation. Number 6 is you need to be posting 3 times a day. We say that all the time, but a lot of us are not, and it doesn't need to be about Beachbody. One needs to be motivational, right? People are attracted to people that are inspiring and positive. And if you can't think of anything out of your mouth, Pinterest and Google Images has you covered. Find a quote, change it around, make it your own, and slap a selfie on there, or a picture of your dog, or whatever, and make it somehow that's related to what you have going on in your life to them, right? So you don't have to be super creative and be a poet. You just have to be able to Google search something that you're feeling at that moment. I do it all the time. If I am feeling like down on myself, I'm thinking about quitting something, I will quitting quotes, right? And then I go through something jumps out at me, I switch it around, I slap a selfie on there, and that's my motivational quote. You need to be sharing a lifestyle quote. Like, what makes you you? What makes you unique? There is not a single person in this world that has the same fingerprint. And when you think about that, that's pretty damn amazing. So you have something in you that God created to share with other people. And maybe you don't know what that is yet, right? Maybe you haven't found it. That's okay, but you just have to know it's there and find little things that intrigues you, right? I think it's so funny how we hate being blasted with advertisements, and then we become a coach, and then all of a sudden we just start blasting advertisements. Like, that brings you no value. Find what brings you value and deliver that to other people that are going to be like you. So if you can do some half top knot with something stuck in your hair, and you think other girls that don't have thick hair can relate to that video, do that. Do lifestyle. Do about your kids. Do about your family. Do about whatever you find is funny. Okay, that's lifestyle quotes. And then next is fitness. Do something in fitness. Post after every workout. Post a really yummy recipe. Guys, fixate. Super easy. Pinterest, 21-day fixed recipe. Make it, post it on there, put the recipe. There's a post for you, okay? You don't have to create it. So number 6 was post 3 times a day, and number 7 was take that 100 people and invite 20 people a day. So just tell them what you're doing. Say, hey, so I started this challenge group, and I don't know if you see my post or not, but I thought maybe you would be interested in joining me. Do you have any goals or any fitness aspirations that I know it's a new year, are you wanting to do you have any goals? Stop at that. You don't even have to word vomit. And guys, all of this is in the 5-step invitation process. So, and then you start talking. And if you want to get real with them, you say, when's a really good time that we can chat? And I'm talking not chat on Messenger. I'm talking about jump on a FaceTime call or a Skype call or a Zoom call or whatever, and have a 20-minute conversation about their goals and how you can help them. And then at the end of that, share your story. What attracted you to this? How are you changing? And then have a call to action to them. Ask them to join your next challenge group. And from there, you're offering the solution. Again, this is all in the 5-step invitation process. And what it includes, I usually leave with a 21-day fix challenge pack, but then I also upgrade to the all access on demand. And just say, right now 21-day fix is $160, but you can get 21-day fix and blah, blah, blah. Again, everything's in 5-step invitation process for $199. And you have workout enough programs to get you through the entire year for an extra $40. Is that something you're interested in? They usually say yes. Okay. So 1, you have to know why you're doing this. Again, here's 7 steps. You have to know why. You have to write down 100 people that can benefit from what you're offering. You have to find some people that trust you. Go to your family and your friends. I'm pretty sure everybody that's diving in on this call right now hit up their best family and friends first. That's 3 and 4, transformation, share transformation. Share what's working for you, and boldly state, and again, if you don't have a transformation, boldly state where you want to be. Say, I'm not there yet, but I'm a work in process, and this is what is changing for me, and I can't wait to get there. 6 is post, share, and then 7 is inviting 20 people a day. Because guys, if you want to get, okay, let's say Diamond is 8 people. Let's just use 10 for a cushion because people are going to quit or return or whatever, right? So let's break down and get nerdy with some math really quick. You need 8 people to be Diamond. Of those 8 people, 2 have to be Emerald, 1 on each side. So let's just say 8, you got Emerald and an Emerald. So we're at 12 people, okay, including your Emerald and the 2 people that they need. You need 12 people. So how many people are you willing to talk to? And you're not going to talk to 12 people and get to Diamond. It may take 30 people, 40 people, 50, 60, 80. It may take 200 people. But how many people are you willing to have those conversations with? How many lives are you willing to impact? Like, you're going to have to talk to a lot of people. And I always go by the 80-20 rule. So if you want to get 20 people signed up, you need to be talking to a minimum of 100 people every single month. And that is solid conversations. That's not just invites and they never respond to you. That is how many conversations you're having. So out of 100 people you're fully talking to, 80 of them have told you either not right now or they quit conversating with you. So you can see where most people get discouraged and they give up. But that's just the law of numbers and averages in this business. So if you want to get to Diamond, and I think every single person in here can get to Diamond, you just have to talk to more people. You have to invite more people. So you're not Diamond because you don't have what it takes, right? Because I get where I'm a little down on myself sometimes because I'm like, well, how did Brittany Leggett get to elite in 1 year? And she's, the Millionaires Club, and she did this and that. And then I'll start making excuses for myself. Well, it's because she got to do it full time, or right? Because those are little things that make me feel better about not being successful. And that's not true. She is where she is. Every successful person is where they are because they worked really hard. They just worked harder and they worked a lot smarter. So she worked a lot harder than me. That's why she is where she is. And so nobody in this group is got any advantage over the rest of us. You just have to decide where you want to be in this business. And I think Diamond, guys, Emerald is your first step. Emerald, you want to get to Emerald because when you get to Emerald, you get free money. It's free. They give you leads. So people all over the world are sitting up at different times watching infomercials, and they're clicking on, oh, I want to buy Quarter Force at 4 a.m. and I think this would be great. And so they get assigned to a coach. So hopefully you are willing to reach out to them and help them get through that program. If you are an Emerald coach and above, after you establish that relationship with them, or if they keep ordering, you get that income. So you get 25% of anything they order simply by being an Emerald coach. Okay, if you're a Diamond coach, that goes up by $4 a cycle. We're not going to get into that, but Diamond is where your business begins. So if you're not Emerald, you should be Emerald now. You can be Emerald by the end of this month, but there is no doubt in my mind that you guys can be Diamond by the end of next month. If that is a goal of yours, if you decide, you know what, my why is really strong, and I'm not going to get to where I want to be just by tiptoeing in the sand and making excuses for myself. So I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go for it. You can be Diamond by the end of March. You just have to talk to a lot of people. So you have to decide what it's worth to you. Sorry. Now I'm like choking. So you got to go serve somebody, and you have to provide a need. Everybody has a need of something, right? Either they want to tone up, or they need to clean up their nutrition, or they're busy and they just don't have time to eat the way that they should, or they need the extra income. Somebody has something that you can offer them. So you just have to get out there and you have to start talking to those people and asking those questions. You won't know what they need unless you're asking what they need. And then having those real hard and fast conversations with them. So I read this quote, and it was, one person with a goal and commitment is more powerful than 100 people merely interested. So what happens in this business is people see this little glimmer of hope and they're interested. It's just, they're not loyal to the decision yet. But then that one person, and Brittany comes to mind because she's the one I know personally the best, she had the goal and commitment, and that was so when she had a baby, she wanted to bring her husband home so that she would not have to do a life alone with her and her baby. And so I think it's just so cool watching her go through that journey. And right now they have that newborn, and she worked her butt off, and now her husband, he went on his last deployment, like he's home, right? And it's amazing. But I think the driving force there was her why. And so I think when that's strong enough, you'll get through anything. So we're at 8:56, and I had a few more things I could share, but just kind of want to open it up. And I know you guys have to have a few questions on how to get to Diamond, so I'm going to unmute everybody. And guys, listen, I know it's non-traditional, okay? So like when we grew up, did y'all know successful people, like really successful people? Because I didn't grow up around super successful people. All I knew is if I was going to get out of poverty, I was going to have to go to college and get a job that had insurance and 401k, and that was what I was going to do. But I knew no one that was an entrepreneur and super successful. Maybe you were graced upon those people. That wasn't my life. And so you're going to have to do things that people around you are not going to do. They're not going to understand. So that later on, you can do the things that no one else is going to be able to do, right? So it's just the name of the game, and it's how it works. But you got to be a dreamer. And people are going to try to squash your dreams. They're going to tell you it's not possible, but Diamond is possible. Diamond is super possible. And I'd love for everybody on this call to be Diamond next month. Like, I know you can be. And it's going to be hard. You're going to cry. You're going to want to give up. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to say, this isn't for me. And it's because people are going to quit. But you always have to keep in your mind, if you keep 80-20 in your mind, that's all, you're going to start thinking about it everywhere you go. 80% of your coaches are going to quit. 80% of your customers are going to quit. That happens in every business in the world. 80% of the things you try to tackle, you're going to fail at. But, success is a failure without loss of enthusiasm. So you just got to keep pushing. You got to keep going. So who has some questions? I'm trying to unchoke myself. No? Everybody's going to be dying. Everybody's good? No? That makes sense? What?
I just want to add, like, you know, sometimes people get overwhelmed with goal setting, and especially when it comes to ranks, because you kind of, you know, rely on someone else for your rank. So if that isn't your goal, like, don't let that stress you out. You know, Jessica's obviously talking to the business builders on our team. If that's not you, then that's okay. But if it is you, then, you know, obviously it's possible. But
yeah, I mean, discount coaches are probably not on this call. So if that's not your goal, I'm going to say that you're probably a hobby coach and it's not important to you right now. But, you know, I think business builders, hobby coaches definitely have a place in this business. And that's someone, we have a few on here that they have no interest in making a lot of money. They just like the support and accountability, and they like being in challenge groups, and they want to make a little enough to pay for their Shakeology. I think those are great. But what I come across a lot of times for me when I was a hobby coach, it was because I was scared to actually say I wanted to do business building, because what if I failed at that, right? So I'm a hobby coach because I have a job. I don't really have time for that. But what I was saying is hobby seems very comfortable for me right now. Business is a little too scary. So definitely do what's right for you, but definitely know that whatever your goals are in life, you can certainly accomplish that too. No? Everybody else? Good? And you have to be excited about it. I know a lot of times, like I was listening to You Are a Badass again, and she has an analogy about, you know, what kind of party are you going to want to go to? And if someone's like, oh my God, I went to your party and you're going to have to come to mine. If you don't come to my party, I'm going to be really mad at you. You know, like you seem desperate for them to come to your party. That's going to be a pretty lame party, and you're not going to want to go to that party. But if you seem really stoked about your party and your opportunity and what you're offering, and you're like, I have this amazing opportunity. Like, I'm going to have you have to hear about it. It's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. And I think that it's going to be life-changing for me, and I want you to hear about it. Would you mind do you think that that's something you'd be interested in? Like, you're super excited about it, and that's like you saying, hey, dude, I'm throwing this really cool party, and you're not going to want to miss it. And you walk away from it. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be like, oh, I want to go to that party too. Not everybody's going to show up to your party, but the people that see your enthusiasm and they get where you're going, they're going to show up, and those are the people that you want in your court. So paint a vision for them. Believe it. They buy into you long before they buy into anything that you're offering them. So just know you guys have so much potential. And I can't wait to see this team explode. So Jody, you got anything?
I don't think so.
No questions on Diamond? I mean, where's everybody getting stuck on Diamond? Is it the inviting? Is it just life's busy? And for me personally, I'm not inviting. That's where I'm getting stuck with building. So is it called no? Is it, I mean, y'all want to talk about that? Or
my biggest thing, like when I was trying to get to Diamond, was that like I'm good at offering people the discount when they sign up, but I'm still not good at it, like actually offering like the coaching side of things to people, like actually talking to them about it. So like you have to go more than just like, hey, do you want to sign up for this discount? And then like you still have to ask them and like talk to them about the actual coaching side of things, or they're never going to know that possibility. Like they're just going to assume that you just wanted them to get the discount. So like that's where I still struggle. Like I said, I'm really bad about that.
And for me,
yeah, that's a good point.
Connecting is the hard part. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we actually are doing a coach sneak peek next week. It's going to be it's technically going to be Monday through Wednesday, but Monday we're just doing like an icebreaker, like introduction day, and like all the posts are going to be Tuesday. Doing like 2 hours apart. One will be a video, and then one we're going to go live. So we have like some video topics that we're going to post, and then we're going to go live at different times and kind of just share, you know, how coaching works for everybody differently. So that was a good point, Brittany. A lot of times, you know, we are quick to offer them the discount, and it kind of goes back to the whole challenger mentality. You know, it's like you can't hold their destiny in your mouth. It worked for you, and it's your obligation to share it with them. And then as a coach, it's adding, you know, whatever your like tie is to coach, whether it's holding you accountable to your goals or providing financial freedom for your family or just a community of women that you love. It's still like you have to offer that to them or they're never going to know. So that is a good point. And we are hosting a coach sneak peek once a month. We're trying to get a little different this month with the, you know, teaming up with the other people, but definitely invite, you know, challengers now that you see that are doing a great job and they're automatically encouraging other people, you know, invite them to the sneak peek, or even just people that maybe they're not even in challenge groups. You just think they'd be really awesome. Invite them.
Yeah, Brittany, that's a good point. I mean, and there, like I said, there are a few new people on this call, but when you get to the 5-step invitation process, and guys, if y'all haven't done that training, that we've spent a really crazy amount of time putting that together, that is all for you. That's not for me. That's not for Jody. We didn't need that training. That is for you to walk you step by step. And I wish I would have had that training. But it's going to teach you exactly how to do this and how to offer that discount in the 5-step invitation process. That why is going to be written down in your business quick start. But when you get to the discount option, they are just thinking that it's for a discount. And it is going to take those deeper conversation. And Brittany, that's definitely where I still struggle, is getting on those phone calls and having those connected phone calls where it's like, you know, that they could be much more than a discount, and then having those real hard conversations like, you know, do you like your job, or are you where you want to be in life? And just kind of asking those real like goal oriented questions, and then finding who your goal getters are going to be. So, you know, Scotty Hobbs actually talked about a video. You know, that's where if you're rushing for diamond, that's where you're going to find your 2 emeralds immediately, is someone that's willing to do that same process the same way you did, but, you know, signing up their spouse or their friend or whatever. But knowing that that's where they want to go, they would at least be interested, 1, in the discount, but 2, they see the business opportunity side. And for me, a lot of times I don't take the time to actually to know what their goals are. Do you like your job? Do you want some extra income? You know what I mean? So it's, again, getting on those phone calls and connecting. Connect. Is that, I think no one else has any questions. I'm always open to ask anything. Guys, that's what I'm here for, but definitely take some time to write down your why and go through that invitation process. Find 100 people and invite them. You have something really powerful you can help with their nutrition, their fitness, their financial goals. There's something that you can offer to help everybody. So, and not everybody can say that. So thank you for taking time to jump on the call. And I hope you all had a great night. And I can't wait to see you all explode in your own businesses and whichever route that you choose, but know that you can do it quickly. So don't set some far-fetched goal. Diamond is very achievable. So love you all, and I hope you have a good night, and we'll see you here next Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye, Boosty.
Night.
Thanks.
Bye.